All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? We say what's good to everybody that's in the building so far. Denali Smith in the building. What's good? Well, how you feeling, brother? Cadillac 634 in the dough. What's going on? Theodore Mays. Ray Patterson in the building. Kay, what's going on? Good morning. Ray Patterson. I think I said what's up. Gabe Toss in the building. All things. Gilbert Jimenez. Kentrell LeGrew. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I forgot to do something. Ralph Chestnut, what's going on? David Williams, what's going on? He said, good morning, guys. If you know Keyshawn or his brother, let them know don't ever come to Philly. These guys here not playing with word and photos already in every hood is real. What are you talking about, man? What's going on? The truth, Damon Delgado in the building. What's going on? Release the Epstein files. The Octavist in the building. What's going on? Troy Hutch, Ray Rice, Jeremy Austin. What's going on? Kip Keno in the building. What's up, man? Shout out. You said, what's up, Fanon? I'm from North Virginia. We are very upset with Keyshawn. He let us down. Yeah, he let everybody down. Because Keyshawn Davis tried to get cute. Keyshawn Davis tried to get cute. You don't miss weight by 4 pounds on accident. You don't miss weight by 4 pounds on accident. Keyshawn Davis, in my opinion, tried to do a Ryan Garcia, tried to sneak Edwin De Los Santos, and Edwin De Los Santos didn't go for it. He said no thank you and walked off. And you know what Edwin De Los Santos is going to get? Edwin De Los Santos is going to get a shot at that WBO title. It is a shame what he did to Edwin De Los Santos, man. Keyshawn Davis shouldn't even be counted as a champion. I don't even think Keyshawn Davis should not even be counted as a former champion. Yeah, 4 pounds was a conscious decision. No, 4 pounds, he tried to get slick. He tried to get slick is what he tried to do. He tried to get slick. Because they gave him the rehydration and Keyshawn said no. Keyshawn said no to the rehydration. Then Keyshawn was playing games, bro. His crash out needs to be studied. Went from top of the world to outcast in boxing in basically a day. It just tells you how fast things can go downhill. But I'm gonna wait for everybody to come in the building. I think it's Abdullah and that other dude that's up for the vacant. I mean, I don't think that the WBO should order. I think the WBO should order whoever it is to fight Edwin De Los Santos. It's not fair that Edwin De Los Santos tries to get a shot at the title, and that man doesn't, basically tries to screw him. You know what I mean? Beat me by, seriously, it's disgusting. What's going on, Damon Delgado? He wanted to make sure that he didn't have to worry about Edwin De Los Santos. And yeah, he should be suspended, Keys. Look, I don't know if he should be suspended, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't trust him on a fight card. Would you trust Keyshawn Davis on a fight card? And then to attack him and his brother, to attack somebody for beating his brother? I mean, how bad can you possibly look, man? How bad? I mean, seriously, I'm having a hard time thinking. How could you make yourself look worse? Number one, everybody's there to see you fight, but you blow the fight. you blow the fight, and then you want to punch. You want to headbutt the guy that beat your brother. There's not much other than to go in to say that, other than Keyshawn Davis, man, ruined it for Top Rank, man. Look at all the money. I can't imagine all the money Top Rank lost on that particular fight card. How many people, if it wasn't for, I'm not going to lie, though, Abdullah Mason looked great against Jeremiah Nakathila. Sampson said he touched Keyshawn on the scale and he was dry. Said, dude, didn't even try. No, he didn't try. 4 pounds over, you didn't try if you missed by 4 pounds. Remember, we learned that trick. We learned that trick when Ryan pulled that trick. If you're a certain amount over the weight, you're not allowed to get down to the weight. You're not allowed to do it. So you have to, he was at a high enough weight where he had to go into a rehydrate, to where he had to strike an agreement, and he couldn't get down to 135. As soon as he was over 4 pounds over, he wasn't able to lose that weight. So he didn't try. And for you not to try, Keyshawn, come on, man. That guy's fighting for a world championship. Don't you owe it to the other dude to try to make weight, man. Why are you wasting that man's time? Said it was over like 2,000 refunds. I can imagine. And he has to pay Edwin De Los Santos the purse. And you has to pay Edwin De Los Santos the purse. Man, he just made, man, I don't know what's going on with you boxers, man. That new generation of boxers, y'all are whack as shit, bro. Y'all run around talking about how Gervonta Davis don't fight nobody, but you get Ryan that pulls that game on Devin. Devin pulls that game on everybody. Keyshawn tries to pull the game on Edwin De Los Santos. Talked all that shit to Abdullah like he was going to fight him next. Exactly. And didn't want nothing, no parts of it. RP, who is Ray Patterson is off. RP is back off a 3-week vacation. What's up, Ray Patterson? You been gone? He was trying to be a weight bully. He knew that man had power. Yeah. Man, look, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving Keyshawn the benefit of the doubt on that. Keyshawn, you fucked up because you thought that they would be able to strike a deal. Then you don't want to do the rehydration clause. Bro, you should have done the rehydration clause. And then he would have been choked up, and then he would have had to get in the ring with Edwin De Los Santos, and he didn't want to get in the fight with a hard-hitting, very good fighter like Edwin De Los Santos by being weight drained. That's the only thing that I can see in this that makes sense, and it's an absolute positive, complete shame. Keyshawn is needed in boxing after Tank retires. No, he's not. Why is Keyshawn needed after? Why? There's plenty of fighters that'll make weight. Kenny Drake. There's plenty of fighters that will make weight. Plenty of fighters that will make weight. We got Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason looks like he'll wait. Top Rank has Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason looks like he'll make the weight. You know? Yeah, exactly. Got Abdullah Mason. If you're talking about from the Top Rank perspective, I think they'll be perfectly fine. He said he knew he was coming for that spot. Nah, I think he's trying to go up there and fight it in an easier weight class. Because, man, dude. And what about Andy Cruz? There goes the Andy Cruz fight. Fanon, does Keyshawn lose his belt? Absolutely. Keyshawn lost his belt on the scale. Absolutely, he lost his belt. He lost his belt on the scale. He agreed to a rehydration clause. De Los Santos promoter decided not to follow through once he saw how happy Keyshawn was to miss weight. I don't know about that. I'd have to look into that. Man, what's going on? Abdul Shahid Rauf Wahid said the pressure that these guys are under is something that needs to be looked over, and they need some type of program to place because they too young. Honestly, man, I think they're all playing games. I think that the games that they play, that they all know that they're playing these stupid games, and that they all think that they're real smart. So Ryan Garcia got away with it on Devin Haney. So Keyshawn Davis tried to get away with it on Edwin De Los Santos. It's just clear to me that they think that they're smart. And Keyshawn Davis outsmarted himself. It's just that simple. He tried to get cute, and he outsmarted himself. Quiet as kept, Keyshawn Dunn had an advantage in all his last few fights. Peep game, y'all. Yeah, phenomenal show. Look. He did it. In my book, he did it on purpose. If you're 4 pounds over, you didn't try. It's that simple. 4 pounds, you didn't try. So basically, you said, I'm fighting Edwin De Los Santos, and I'm going to fight him at my full strength. Yes, sir. You said you're going to fight Keyshawn Davis at your full strength. While you're going to fight Edwin De Los Santos while you're at full strength, while Edwin De Los Santos cuts down to make weight. And that's the game that Ryan Garcia played or was accused of having played. So no, guess what? They do the same thing. That De Los, hell yeah, the De Los Santos win is looking better and better. Yes, it is. You talking about the De Los Santos win from Shakur? Yeah. You talking about the De Los Santos win from Shakur or the De Los Santos? Who else beat? Somebody else beat De Los Santos, didn't they? Man, Shakur won, but he didn't beat him for, yeah. Oh, no, he beat him. Oh, 2-year layoff and an injury. He wasn't going to get any credit anyway. Kay, why are you making all these excuses for Keyshawn? Okay. Let me put a link in the chat, man. I want, hopefully, yeah, Rayo. Yeah, Rayo beat him. I mean, no, Rayo didn't beat him. Edwin De Los Santos beat Rayo. I think Edwin De Los Santos knocked out Rayo. That just tells you that these fighters are all good. Man, and these people are not as good as you think they are, man. That I'm telling you, that Four Kings crap, all that was a way to was a way to ride on the back of Gervonta Davis, because he's the only king left out of any one of them. Ryan ain't no king, Devin ain't no king, Tio ain't no king. All of that's over. And then you get Keyshawn to move up. So Keyshawn's in the weight division with him, and he moves up. How many weight bullies are there at 135? None of these guys can make the weight. Look at how many of these guys moved up or retired. Charlotte was 166.4, then 166.6 the second time. Is dirty AF? I don't know what you mean. Keisha Jones said Keyshawn is hold on. Keyshawn is the total clown, always talking about Tank. He messed up things for himself. Tank laughing at himself and deserves to be laughed at. Where is Shakira? I mean, Shakur, he quiet. He probably out there working. You know what I mean? Shakur probably out there working. Shakur ain't miss weight. Shakur made weight. Let me put the link in the chat in case any of y'all want to chop it up early today. I'd appreciate it. I took 3 days off, man. Ooh, it was a good 3 days. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. He's scared Edwin De Los Santos was going to bust him up. He wanted an extra padding. Look, he didn't want to go in there. Obviously, he wanted to cheat that man. Ralph Chestnut said, just my thoughts. If he doesn't get any type of help and real love, and I'll say my thoughts. If he doesn't get any type of help and really have a real apologist, his career is probably in jeopardy. Just my thoughts. Look, I would say his career is in jeopardy because I'm not going to support that kid. Like, seriously, man, you lost a lot of money for Bob Arum, man. Bob Arum Bob Arum and Top Rank are looking, their contract is coming up to an end. Bob Arum, and they have, and come on, man, you know the dude is already in bed with Turkey. You know he's already in Turkey. Didn't Keyshawn send a note to Turkey Al-Sheikh talking about let's make a fight with that he wanted to make the fight with Teofimo Lopez? Isn't that what Keyshawn Davis said? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. No, I didn't see what Tank posted. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, look. No, I don't see it. Nah, what did he post? What did he post? So, hey, can you forward me the post? Call me Deathstroke says sometimes you just grow out of the weight class. He's not the first to do it, and he won't be the last. It happens. By 4 pounds. 4 pounds is a lot, man. He may have, but I don't think he outgrew the weight class. I don't think he ever belonged in the weight class. There's a difference there. There's a difference. I travel a ton of fights. He will never be on my list to see now. No way I'm going to invest my money in fights, hotel, etc. You got to start fights in the hallway with his brother, with his baby in his stroller. Crazy. These boys was just, that's funny. Hold on. Here's the thing, man. I like Keyshawn Davis as a person. And because I know that Keyshawn Davis deals with mental illness. He deals with the same type of stuff that I deal with. And I understand, man, it's hard to motivate yourself, man. Sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself. But at the end of the day, man, you have to be there and you got to fight for the other guy. Because again, you went into a partnership with Edwin De Los Santos. And Keyshawn Davis basically welched on his agreement with Edwin De Los Santos and tried to set Edwin De Los Santos up to fight a guy that was basically a middleweight in the ring. So no, it's just not justifiable. 4 pounds, no. A pound, okay. A half a pound, okay. If he missed it by a half a pound, you pay a certain amount of money. He tries to make the weight. You go through, the title's still on the line. But when you go 4 pounds over, that means there is no fight unless you guys can agree to a new weight class, to a new, unless you can agree to a new weight. Because once you're more than 3 pounds over, they don't allow you to cut 3 pounds in a couple hours. They wouldn't allow Keyshawn to cut 4 pounds. So Keyshawn just made sure he was high enough over the limit so that he would not be forced to try to cut weight. Again, that is what we learned when Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney. And Devin Haney's team were saying that Devin was taken advantage of because Devin had agreed to a rehydration because Ryan knew that once when he weighed in at like 143 or something like that, he knew that once he weighed in at 143, he was not allowed to cut down to 140. So Devin Haney's team rightfully said, hey, we think Ryan did this on purpose because, hey, he was 3 pounds over. He knows we can't force him to lose any weight. So we then have to just agree to a weight. But Devin and Ryan didn't agree to a rehydration clause. See, I'm telling you, looks like the same move. It looks like the same move. Martin, he should have been at 140 from the beginning. He only has 13 fights. Yeah. I mean, all these guys are doing this stuff where they're going down to a weight, where they're going to a weight class they know they don't belong in. Because they're like, and Keyshawn said it in the interview that he had. It was the interview that he had. He said, in the amateurs where you're always trying to cut down to the smallest weight class you can so that you can be strong. Dude, Gervonta's not doing that. Gervonta Davis is not cutting down to the smallest weight class he can be in so he can have size advantages over guys. Even Edwin looked sick at 135. I mean, Edwin De Los Santos, but Edwin De Los Santos made the weight. He made the weight. I just think it's just disgusting, man. Cal Cooler said, I do find it funny that Keon didn't want Edwin touching the belt while knowing he wasn't going to make weight. I mean, he just robbed Edwin De Los Santos of an opportunity to fight for the title. That's just that simple. I mean, he did Edwin De Los Santos dirty. Very, very dirty. And look, man. Oh, can somebody tell me something? Who promotes Edwin De Los Santos? I mean, isn't Edwin De Los Santos a PBC fighter? Isn't he a PBC fighter? I do believe he is, isn't he? Edwin De Los Santos. Because I do believe he's with Samson Leskovich, which makes him a PBC fighter. So that was a PBC top-ranked fight. That was a PBC top-ranked fight. So there's another example of the PBC and Top Rank working together. Unfortunately, the Top Rank fighter didn't keep his side of the deal. Good thing Santos didn't go for the bamboozle. Who care about Edwin, bro? What do you mean who cares about Edwin? I care about Edwin, Kenny Drake. I care about Edwin De Los Santos because Edwin De Los Santos deserved to fight for a championship. He put up a very good fight against Shakur Stevenson, who was on, what could you say, roller skates the whole fight. Now, Keyshawn, I thought Shakur Stevenson won the fight, but at the same time, Edwin De Los Santos deserved another shot at the championship. He negotiated a shot for the championship. He trained, he invested his time, he invested his money in the fight, and then Keyshawn Davis pulled a whammy on him. I don't know why do you want to be so apologetic for Keyshawn Davis, but you have no sympathy for Edwin De Los Santos. I mean, don't you think? I think that's kind of funny, man. That you don't find any sympathy for the guy that got robbed. Phoenix the assassin in the building. What up, Phoenix?
Hey, what's good, man? How's it going?
Man, I'm good, brother. I can't complain about a thing, man. Life's good, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up. Enjoy your days off.
Man, I enjoyed my days off, man. Your boy Abdullah Mason looked like he made some improvements, bro. He keeping that.
Oh yeah,
he keeping that high guard high.
yep, yeah. You had that dude say no mas.
Mm-hmm. And
Man.
a good fighter. Nakathilia used to be a good fighter.
I know he went the distance with Shakur.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, but you know what's a Monday morning without hate, though?
Yeah, man. Let me get some of that hate out you.
Man, these Davis brothers three.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on
one
one second. I got to say something. Here for boxing. Will you please take your gay ass from around me, dog? Like, for real. You're obsessive at this point. I just want to let him know. Bro, I know you're listening. Will you please get your sweetie pie ass from talking to me, man? I don't care what you think, dog. Here for boxing. You're a man fan. Please leave me alone. Go ahead, man.
The man. Hey, funny thing. You know, Albright. You remember when Keyshawn had failed that drug test? You know, he got suspended for the weed down in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was against Albright, and they turned that fight into a no contest. And then Albright just came back and whooped on his brother. So see, Albright done did the Davis brothers dirty 2 times. He done messed up Keyshawn's high, and then he also messed up his brother. Hey, how sad is that? And you know that Albright, that was in 2023. You know Albright ain't fought since then?
Really?
Yep, he ain't fought since then. Since that fight with Keyshawn. So yeah, he took 2 years off, came back and smacked his brother. See, that now would make sense why they jumped him. Because like, man, you messed up my brother's high. He done got suspended in Texas over that fight. And then now you done whoop our other brother. Now we gotta stomp you out. Like, man, if that ain't some whole shit. Like I tell you, if there's ever a time to call a boxer a bum, it's a time like that. They want to do everything outside the ring except get trained and get prepared. Everything outside the ring except make weight and work on your defense. That's what they doing. That shit is horrible, horrible. Now on top of that, man, that Fugazi apology they don't tweet it out. They apologize to everybody except Albright. He was talking about we sorry for the kids. We sorry for everybody who had to witness that tensions was running high. I'm sorry that y'all seen us jump somebody, but we ain't jumped nobody. But man, hey, what this dude Shakur, this what let me know he Fugazi. He retweeted that and said, "Hey, that's solid, champ. Ain't nothing solid about that. How you man? You can't even apologize to the dude that you jumped. That ain't solid. He even apologized to the kids. They ain't apologized to the baby that was sitting in the stroller in the middle of that fight. What's wrong with them?" Shakur want to say that's solid. And then he called Keon the next Tommy Hearns. Nigga, that is not the next Tommy Hearns. That is not the next Tommy Hearns.
Hell no.
Yeah, so he out there disrespecting the greats and calling Fugazi apologies solid. Man, oh my God. Oh my God. You know what, Keyshawn, call him Keyshawn Benavidez now, because just like David Benavidez, he's 0-2 against discipline and bad life choices. Got suspended for drugs, and he just lost his belt on the scale, just like David Benavidez did. At least Benavidez, turned that shit around, but Keyshawn, the way that they moving, now this weekend, let me know they weak, they soft. Like if you're gonna jump somebody,
Keyshawn got it backwards though. Keyshawn got it backwards from David Benavidez. David got caught with that cocaine. Then he missed. He got caught with the herb. Then he missed weight. So I think he fucked it up with David though. Real quick.
Yeah.
Jay Mill said Debbie Ryan, 2 Lil Debbie Davis, Bud Shakur, all but Tank are bullies in this era. These dudes with Canelo need to move over, let the Trill fight. Salute, Mr. Martin. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, J Mill. And Jeep Red Boy with a huge $20 holler in the cash aiming in support. Thank you, brother. What's going on? Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry, Phoenix. I want to make sure I didn't miss those. You there, Phoenix? You're on mute, Phoenix. Phoenix on mute. I'll wait till he gets off mute. Said, don't bring that Davis slander.
You know I had to do. You know I had to do. But hey, man, but people talk about, ooh, how long should they be suspended? Now, arrest them niggas. Throw them in the trash. that's that's assault right there. Let them go ahead. Let them go ahead and have their own Diddy party. Call them the Diddy Brothers 3 from now on. Cause that shit just, man, just so horrible. Just so horrible. I ain't like it at all. I ain't like it at all.
Hey, man, he's making my gang signs look bad.
Man, that's what happens.
He making gang signs look bad, dog. You got to do better than that, man.
Shoot, they can't even call it Davis Brothers 1 because, like, man, like the one that did win, it wasn't even really that impressive. So yeah.
Hey, for you, Brandon Brooks said, do you think Canelo Crawford also, if do you think it'll happen? Also, if the fight don't happen, do you think Bud is going to retire? Do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, I think it's going to happen. And if he doesn't, I think he'll retire. No, I don't think he'll retire. I don't think he'll retire because Bud gonna owe somebody some money. Gotta owe somebody some money. Where he at? Go ahead though.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because now Turkey gonna have to be a little more careful about who he start naming ambassadors. Because he does name Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah Mason ring ambassadors. So
that's right.
Yep.
Keyshawn Davis is with Turkey. And he threw a fucking fight. And decided he's gonna go off to another weight class and fight somebody else. I wonder if Turkey has anything to do with this. Waiting for a Turkey payday and says, "Nah, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna slide on this one, and I'll get the T.O. fight."
Yeah, because that's what there was writing news articles about 2 days before the fight that Keyshawn might be fighting Teofimo next. I'm like, nah. Like, see, this is the thing that's weird to me. Like this year so far, when it comes to the guys who are supposed to be like the big names, the champions, headlining these cards, why is it that we having problems with all the promoters that's over there working with Turkey? Like people with Top Rank, Matchroom, Queensberry, Golden Boy. Like what's going on with their main event fighters right now? Because it ain't making no sense. They're putting up stinkers like left and right, and then some of them pulling out of fights, some of them having to find weird replacements hella late. People who already got fights signed, like Bacole, they're coming in and messing up both fights in a row. Remember what happened with Dubois disappearing for his fight with Parker, and then we also had whatever happened with Schofield ending up in that hospital, so Shakur had to go against Padley. And we like all the guys who's supposed to be headliners are out here not doing well. What's up with that? I know if it was PBC and Al Heyman, people be mad about that. But like for me, it's like, man, we having so many fumbles right now. And then it's like with all the people working together, like with Turkey, Riyadh, and the Ring and all this, like they got basically every promoter except Al Heyman over there and TGB promotion. Basically everyone else is over there working. Like they couldn't have like no backup fights in place, like no step-ins or whatever. Like what's going on, And for me, it's just like, how is this supposed to be like what's saving boxing when all these big cards, fight card of the century, the whole Fatal Fury weekend, now this, man, it got me kind of scared to see what's going to happen with the Cambosos and Richardson Hitchens fight next week. And then like, okay, are we still gonna see Shakur and Zepeda? What if something end up happening with them and that ended up falling out? Like, I don't know. For me, it's just too much that's weird going on these past several months, like 6, 7, 8 months with the fighters over there. I don't get it. I really do not.
Hey, what up, Virgil?
Hey, what's up? I never call, but
I know.
I hate when Phoenix turns everything into a security. So I always have to check him on that.
Hey, we got to give Devin a break.
Yeah. But I wanted to mention that if you saw the video on that melee, even the Davises, their mother was in there acting like wild and crazy, man. What an
Wow.
incredibly disappointing weekend. I was, and I like the kid and supported, but I was so disappointed, man. So disappointed. And
Man,
I
I
mean,
didn't see that their mom jumped.
yeah, if you watch it, his mother was on the right side, and he had a little kid in there. I mean, it was just well, I remember a while back, Fanon, you said some people are just they're not ready for stardom, and he was starting to be, he was getting big, and he couldn't handle it. I mean, that was just incredibly disappointing the entire weekend. But Abdullah Mason saved the show, and funny, Keyshawn tried to diss him by calling him out in that press conference, and look how the weekend turned out. And that I was glad to see that, and his family and the way his brothers and him and his father, the way they behave. Not saying everyone has to behave that way, but I was very impressed with that. So I was happy. For Abdullah for sure.
I agree with you on that. Like, I'm glad that Abdullah Mason got a chance to shine again. So like for him, Scooter Davis. I like that body shot he finished duel with. So that was kind of cool too. So I'm hoping to see more from Scooter Davis and from Abdullah Mason.
Oh, and one more thing.
I'm gonna jump off and come right back. My headphones acting crazy. Give me 2 seconds.
All right, that's cool. I got you. I'll let you back up when I see you.
Yeah. Okay. I got one more question about the Abdullah fight. Did the refs and doctors stop that, or did Nakatili quit? I was a little confused about that.
Yeah, he didn't want to continue after round 4.
Yeah, he didn't come back out.
Okay, so because I was trying to. He had an accent, so I couldn't really understand it. But I thought he said, "I don't want to go back out. Or I don't want to fight anymore."
Yeah, he quit. He quit.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I thought he quit, but he was going to get knocked out. I thought that next round he was gone.
I agree. He wasn't getting out that fight. He was getting broken down.
He was getting broken down, and so.
Kamal Oz said the doctor, we have a decision on it. Kamal Oz said the doctor stopped it.
Oh, okay.
Said that ninja quit.
Yeah,
He was like, "Ooh, that shit hurt."
I thought he quit. So
it would have made no difference. He was getting up. He was going to get up out there.
Yeah,
for sure.
He did quit. He told the doctor that he couldn't see out his eye.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I saw him say that when the camera was right on him. But I knew they had called the ref and the doctor. The ref could have even stopped it. He didn't really need to call a doctor because I think Nick T was like, yeah, he didn't want any more of that kid.
You know the crazy thing is, man, like little things like that can make a big difference to your career, bro. Because there's always somebody coming up behind you. You know,
yeah.
So like Keyshawn think he's the next young one coming up, and you got Abdullah Mason right behind you.
Yeah,
you act a fucking fool. Abdullah Mason takes your headlines, your fight shows out in a headline on your fight. That's the same way Devin Haney wound up getting a bigger contract because somebody pulled out of a fight and Devin wound up headlining the zone card. Otherwise, Devin would never had headlined the zone. Yeah, and I was talking to my mother because my mother went to school with Muhammad Ali.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she went to high school with him. So she was saying that there were a lot of boxers there that were really, really good, but that people got behind him. I think who they said the school got behind them because the police got behind them. Then the school got behind them, and they said they were really behind him, even though like when he was younger, even when he's younger, there were other fighters and he would lose fights, but because he had that backing, they continue to support him. They continue to take him places. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Definitely.
Like if you have backing, that's why you need backing. Because if you have a mistake or something, then somebody can kind of lift you up and keep you going. But to me, what it looks like, and I agree with Knockout 86, Knockout Boxing 86 TV, because I actually did see your video where you said that this weekend. He says that, or the Pullout Bandit says this, but Knockout Boxing 86, I think, said it in a video as well. Keyshawn tried to pull a Ryan. The only thing is Edwin has Samson and Devin. Well, Devin got Bill. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. So yeah, I just think that, yeah, man, it's you need to be able to. You got to act like you have some sense, man. And there's always somebody right behind you, somebody that can take your spot. You know what I mean?
Ain't it crazy that both of them, Ryan and Keyshawn, both came in 4 pounds overweight, and they both was on camera bragging that Floyd Mayweather was at their sparring camp?
For real?
Well, I know.
Remember,
I think
after the fight,
Keyshawn was.
Ryan said, remember, Ryan alluded to and said, Floyd told me to do this. Keyshawn was on video days before saying that Floyd came and visited him at camp. Sean Zattel did a video, and Radio Raheem did a video of Keyshawn Davis after the weigh-in. And Sean Zattel was alluding to that he started seeing a change, like a difference in the way that Keyshawn talked, did interviews, and everything. Like, after he got that belt, like Radio Raheem was basically saying, like, now we know of certain things in the interview was off limits, but that's to the interviewer's discretion. Keyshawn basically was coming in the interview was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not talking about nothing like that or this, that, and the third. So what else you want to talk about? So Radio Raheem was like, that's no way to start an interview. He said, if you online tweeting about certain things, because they was trying to ask him about the whole Shakur and Richard the Hitchens situation, and he kind of just like, yeah, I ain't talking about this, that, and the third. So if you want to do the interview, we can. If not, I'm out. He was like, he was never like that before. He was more humble, like Abdullah Mason is.
Yeah. Good.
Getting the big head, huh?
Yeah. Somebody said he was smelling himself because he got to this level, but what a letdown, man! What a letdown.
Nair Albright is from Philly, and they should be lucky that his other brothers wasn't there, because that would have turned into a bad situation.
Well, if you guys remember, the Albright gave Keyshawn his toughest fight. One of the judges ruled that a draw. If you guys can remember that.
Yeah, it was 95-95. That was that fight that Keyshawn tested dirty for lead.
Right.
Yep.
So that was his toughest fight. And
you know he ain't fought since then, right?
Yeah.
Albright.
Yeah. So they in fact after that, Albright said he wanted to run it back, but I'm sure he will never get that fight again. But that was Keyshawn's toughest fight to date, right now. So there was a whole lot of animosity in there for that guy, I think. And I don't understand why they didn't even let him back to the locker room. But I don't know. What do you guys think of his oldest brother? People say his younger brother is really going to be good, but his older brother, I'm not too sure about him.
See, his older brother was fighting first and then took some time off and then came back.
Okay.
That's the one that
I don't
just
have
lost,
high hopes
right?
for any of them.
Yeah,
that's the one that lost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he's got his problem is he didn't got a lot of power. Like that whole Tommy Hearns thing is. I mean if he had some power, he could fight.
Right.
But I think he's got some defensive flaws, man. Like he drops his hands. There's all kind of different stuff, just little things that he does, man, that makes it look like, when he gets like, what weight class is he? A welterweight?
Yeah,
140. He should be at welterweight.
He was only 40. He was 140. He should
and
be.
He was talking about him shrinking himself down to make that weight. Tim Bradley was talking about it.
Yeah.
He should be at 147.
Right. He should be.
He's 6 what? 6'2", 6'3", something like that?
He's 6'1". The youngest brother is taller than him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what his weight is. I don't know what his weight class is in, but the youngest one is taller than him. So I'm not sure, but they say the younger one is going to be a good prospect. But I missed his fight, so I didn't get to see him.
I didn't get to see him either.
Yeah, but I heard he knocked the guy out in the second round, but I didn't get to see. I missed that fight.
Yeah, with a body shot.
With a body shot.
Had that dude crawling.
Yeah, definitely crawling to the corner. The highlight of that night was Abdullah Mason, man. Abdullah put
Absolutely
on a phenomenal show. He,
phenomenal show.
oh my God, he showed patience and like when we was talking about the fight last week for we was speaking on because he had got dropped and showed some heart in his last fight. But this fight, man, you could tell he tightened that defense up. He wasn't moving around. He was in range of Nakathila all night. Stood
Oh,
right
I
in front
mean,
of him and just was hitting him with the matrix, man. He was blocking everything.
yeah.
He just boxed beautifully, man.
Yeah, phenomenal show by him. It's a phenomenal show, and he even learned, like, because Fanon said earlier, he had the guard up very high. He wasn't, and he was walking him down,
He
and
got up in there and he was like, "Pimp, he think you pimp?" That shit was
yep,
right back.
and right back. So he,
Yeah, he
but
said no left hooks today.
yeah,
Man, I certainly hope for Keyshawn Davis's sake that he didn't do that dumb shit because of Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I
and
hope not.
because the combination of those two things would get in your head. Like
Yeah.
if he's like, "Hey man," and I'm not saying he did it, but if
Right.
it's true that he was like, "Look, man," basically that was Keyshawn Davis's step up fight.
Right.
That was his step up fight. Berenachek wasn't a step. Berenachek, he was favored to be Berenachek. That was his step up fight. Just like Keyshawn Davis, just like Abdullah Mason had his fight was a step up fight.
Yeah.
Abdullah Mason showed out in his step up fight.
Yep.
To a gatekeeper. I would call Nakathila is a gatekeeper, right?
Yeah.
Maybe at this stage a former gatekeeper, current journeyman, maybe something like that. But he was a step up. He's a guy that had fought for championships before. He's somebody that's a dangerous puncher with the distance.
Nakathila is probably happy to get that nice payday. He's a police officer in Africa. That's
he was.
job.
Is he from? He's from Namibia.
Yeah, Namibia.
Oh, and that's the same place.
Yep.
That's the same place Julian Sindungo's from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
I
must
think
be
so.
with Sunshine. He's with that promoter, the Namibian promoter, promotional company Sunshine. That must be why they got that big sun on the back of their thing.
Oh,
I think it's a gym called out of Namibia called Sunshine Gym. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think Odu was a policeman too.
And Dago.
Ndungo. Yeah, I think he was too. Man, it's interesting. Or he worked some type of government job.
But now, let me ask you: has Floyd ever missed a weight in his?
Floyd Mayweather, no. Floyd's never missed weight.
He's
But
never missed weight?
hold on. Floyd did,
Nope.
and then he paid. Yes, he did. He paid.
Against Marquez.
Yeah, he just blew the weight against Marquez and paid the
So
money.
that was his first fight out of prison, correct? When he
No, that was it was in
Marquez.
2009 after his first retirement, where he came back at the catchweight with Marquez. It was supposed to be at 144, and he came in, I think, 146.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I wasn't sure. Because it is coincidence. The same thing happened. He was with Ryan. He was in Ryan's camp, but then he was in Keyshawn's camp.
So Radio Raheem.
No, they did. There was another time. There was another situation where, it was well known that they were doing that type of stuff because Mikey Garcia was worried about it when Mikey Garcia was fighting Adrian Broner, and made Adrian Broner had some real crazy amount if he missed the weight. Some crazy penalty, because people have been doing that before, and is miss weight on purpose and say, okay, we'll just go to the negotiation. I'll pay you a little bit more money. So basically, Mikey Garcia stuck this crazy amount of money on Adrian Broner if Adrian Broner missed weight.
That was back when AB was being crazy as hell. He was flushing money down the toilet, burning money at Walmart and everything. That was during that crazy time. So I can understand that.
You know he's missing those days right now, I bet.
Yeah,
exactly. Especially with Big U snatching $1 million out of his pocket. You got to pay $2 million worth of taxes for the $1 million he took out your pocket. That's crazy. That's that gambling is a motherfucker, bro.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all see the Fabio Wardley fight?
No, he knocked. I saw him.
He was
losing that bitch, and he knocked that dude out.
Man, he was down. He was pretty much losing every round. Man, he was down on every card and hit that ball with that right hand and floored him.
Wow. Yeah, I saw the highlights, but I didn't see it. I didn't know he was getting.
He said, "Where there's a will, there's a way."
Yes,
That's
Yes,
about
sir.
it.
That was an excellent fight though. That was an excellent fight. And then Joe Obataia fought too.
What happened
He
with
won
Jai
his fight, and
Obataia?
now he wants Zerto Ramirez.
Did Jai Obataia go the distance?
Did he go the distance?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see his fight. I'm not sure.
I just
Yeah, I
seen
missed that
that.
one too.
So I didn't watch the fight. He did a press conference after, so I don't know if it went the distance or he got the stoppage. I just know afterwards he called out Zerto Ramirez to try to become undisputed because Zerto got the other belt, so he's trying to uh, become undisputed at cruiserweight.
Jai Obataia. He got the KO in the 5th. He's
Okay.
on a 3. Yeah, he's on a 3. He's on a 3-fight knockout streak.
Hmm.
I was thinking his punching power was a little funny. A couple times I watched him, so it looked like he pulled it out. Yeah, he got out of it. Australian. Jai
Yeah, well,
Obataia.
it ain't really a lot of people right now in a cruiserweight division. It's not. That's one of the weaker divisions in boxing. So
Yeah, there never really are, man. Hey, 10 to God with the $20 holler, brother. Thank you so much, man. Let me get a couple cash apps. I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think Keyshawn Davis should do next? Let me get these couple cash apps and let me then. Los in the building said Keyshawn's messing it up. Gonna make him Mason a star. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Gonna make him Mason a star. Now Mason got the headline and he showed out.
And he might have a title fight next. He might have his next fight could be for a title.
I hope so. Hey, and Bird 101 says some support with the $5 holler. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, so what y'all want to see out of Keyshawn next?
He need to go where Tiafimo is and not come back.
Oh man,
You know he's about to fight Teofimo Lopez, right?
Yeah, and then they can both go to the trash together after that. You see the way they was talking all buddy at that one press conference while T.O. was reading the book. He's like, man, I like what you said about me, man. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you're advising him, what are we telling him, and also, I guess T.O. But who is his next opponent? If
I
he's
would
going
like to see him fight Frank Martin at 140. Frank Martin wants to swing at 140.
What about Hitchens? Hitchens, I'm hearing another
He's
chatter
about
on
to
that.
fight Cambosos next week.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
I'd rather see
this
the Frank
Saturday.
Martin fight. Frank Martin is a good opponent for him. They both moving up to 140. I would like to.
That'd be good.
Frank Martin just said, "Let's do it at 140."
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I agree with that.
That'd be a good fight. Yeah,
I agree with that because they've been talking about that for a couple of years now. Like me for real though. Like I think that Keyshawn Davis need to really go ahead and do something that shows that he could be trusted again. Because if not, this is the type of move that's bad. This would lead to people getting sidelined. Like Andre did. Because this is like that same thing. So like when you missing weight like that, then you got to drop the belt, and then you over there behaving like this, especially with how they went ahead and jumped Albright. It's like, yeah, this dude kind of radioactive. Do we want to do business with him? We can't be risking our fighters' safeties. We can't be risking losing money on cards because the main event ended up having to be changed at the last minute. So he might have to go back to an undercard and prove himself.
Yeah, I agree.
And Bob Arum is not happy about what happened at all. Bob is pissed.
Man, he's pissed.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Hey, real quick, Melvin Poston, thank you, brother, said he definitely has to fight Lopez, bro. Lopez.
Temurifu.
Teofimo, I think he's gonna fight Teofimo, Melvin. I have my conspiracy theory all together now. I believe that Bob Arum wanted to have his dude do a step-up fight like he usually does to prepare fighters to know whether or not, these dudes really making real fights with people. Keyshawn Davis should have been able to win that fight. Keyshawn Davis says, oh, I got a Teofimo Lopez fight coming up next. That's big money. Fuck this fight. I'm not taking a chance of losing this fight. So I'm gonna come in for, hold on one second. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
got it.
All right, yeah. For some reason, my camera went out on me. Yeah, then it's on my backup camera. Yeah, man. He says, "Oh, fuck that. I don't want to. I'm going to come in way overweight, so I have every advantage to win the fight. He's probably going to sit the fight out too, so that he could get to the Teofimo Lopez fight, which offers more money, because that is what Keyshawn Davis asked of Turkey Al-Sheikh after Teofimo Lopez said liquor, liquor, liquor. Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez fight just fell out, so Teofimo Lopez has to fight somebody, and so it's probably going to be Keyshawn Davis. Let me fix my camera. What do y'all think about that?
I think that could work. The only thing right now is, with what's been happening so far for Turkey with these cards and so many replacements, so many people dropping out, cards being stinkers. I don't know. Like he'd have to be really, really ballsy or just not care at all to go ahead and put both of them on a headliner. They're gonna have to be like the co-main or an undercard or something, because like looking at Teofimo's last performance, and then the way his public image is perceived, and then what just happened with Keyshawn, like man, like it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. I would say Turkey should brush them off to the side, because he named Abdullah Mason the ring ambassador too. I'm looking at Abdullah, so I'm like I honestly don't care what happened with Keyshawn or Teofimo, like if they fight or not. But I think the better thing for Turkey, if he want to try to do anything at all, be to push Abdullah. On top of that, like the WBO strap is vacant now, so what's going to end up happening with that? Because I don't think they're usually fond of just naming whoever's highest ranked the champion. I think they're still going to have somebody fight for it, and then have their two highest ranked people go ahead and go in. So it could be Abdullah Mason, and then on top of that, they got the IBF too. Their 1 and 2 spots is vacant, and I think Navarrete is the interim champ, ain't he?
Yeah.
No,
Not
Murataya is.
Oh yeah, Murataya. Yeah, he's interim. So yeah, then the 1 and 2 spots is vacant.
The IBF, he didn't get elevated to the full IBF.
Yeah, because I don't think the IBF does that, because you remember when School and was interim or not interim mandatory, for Canelo, they still made him fight for it. I don't know if they named the interim for that. And I think it was the same thing with Boots. He still ended up having to fight for it after Bud vacated, if I remember correctly. So
No, Boots
I don't
was
think
emailed.
Did he? Did they go ahead and do that with him?
Boots didn't have to fight for it. That's why he
So
wanted to fight
okay.
Stanionis so bad, because he said he actually wanted to take a belt from somebody. That's why he wanted that fight.
Okay.
Because everybody
so it looks like it could be either or. Yeah, so it looks like it could be either or for IBF, since they switched it up both times. So yeah, we don't know what they're gonna do with that. But yeah, that leaves the 135 division open.
Sir, interim champion Raymond Muratalla, interim champion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, is Raymond Muratalla, interim champion.
Yeah, he stopped the dude in his last fight. I thought after Loma retired, I thought they was going to elevate him to full champion, but I guess
Yeah,
they didn't. So.
Like IBF is very strict about making the mandatory fights happen, but I don't know how they be handling their vacancies though, because it seems like it's kind of up in the air. I think Lomachenko had to fight for it too. Whenever Devin had vacated, so I think that was the Kambosos fight.
It was.
Yeah, that was a title fight, because Lomachenko, no, Kambosos fought Maxie Hughes, which everybody and their mom knew Maxie Hughes won. It was on a top-ranked card, and they wanted to make Lomachenko versus Kambosos in Australia to give Lomachenko his pay-per-view and his big money fight down under. So they robbed Maxie Hughes, because we saw him destroy Kambosos, and so that was for the title.
Yeah.
But
and then
Muratalla fought Abduliev, who the Haneyacks were saying, "Oh, look at Abduliev. That's someone that Devin finally beat that's doing well." Because other than Loma, which everyone thought that pretty much it was either 50-50 or Loma won, Devin had nobody on his resume to hang their hats on. They were either all older, smaller, or they hadn't done shit. And then Abduliev just got knocked out by Muratalla. So the IBF makes you fight. They don't just give you the belt. Boots had to fight Karen for the belt. and when Crawford ducked and was stripped, and then what am I thinking of? Oh yeah, when Canelo ducked William Skull had to fight Vladimir Shishkin for the IBF title.
Yeah, yeah. So hey, that Abdullah, ain't that the guy that Devin had to run halfway across the ring to knock out?
Yeah.
That was his last knockout, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Okay. Yeah. I was sure I recognized that name.
Yeah.
He had to get that running start. Charger. It's like
Man, that
in the
dude.
video games where you have to hit the button at the right spot on the meter.
Let's call Keyshawn Davis, Keyshawn Beetlejuice Davis, for what he is. He's a clown. He's a front runner. All that shit he talked about, Tank. He didn't got Marvin Hagler. Who's he fought? Motherfucker, you want to fight Tank's leftovers. So if he hadn't fought anybody, why are you calling out Pitbull Cruz? Why are you asking to fight Frank Martin if he ain't fought nobody? Same thing all these
Man,
clowns are, man. These jabronis. Shakur, Devin. Tank ain't fought nobody, but on your hit list is Tank's leftovers. You
hey
dug De Los
Keyshawn.
Santos. De Los Santos coming off of a injury, blood clot injury, inactivity, and a loss. You had all that going for you. It was on the top ranked card
In
And
your
the hand
in
injury
hometown.
your
too.
hometown, and you
Hometown.
showed up overweight. You
Yep.
wanted every motherfucking advantage,
Every
Keyshawn. So you ducked De Los Santos. Let's call it what it is. I hear KO and all these other KO's my guy, knockout boxing, but he's talking about Keyshawn ducked Abdullah Mason. He didn't duck Abdullah Mason. He ducked Andy Cruz. The businessman wants nothing to do with Andy Cruz. Never mentioned his name. Dude
Yep.
was
Yeah.
doing the Michael Jackson on him in the Olympics, the Michael Jackson dance, and he ducked De Los Santos. Period.
Oh,
Point blank.
the other one, the other one that Keyshawn ducked. He ducked that rematch with the scale because he lost the first one. And when they asked him if he wanted to try
Yeah.
again, he
He's like,
said
nah.
no,
Yep. You're right.
expeditiously. He
But
said he
Over.
so he
hey,
didn't want that weight smoke.
Phoenix,
That's
do
true.
you think Lopez, Keyshawn that can't be pay per view, right?
No,
That
they'd have to
free
put that
fight.
on free TV, like
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
ESPN
no,
That ain't
no.
Plus,
no damn pay
included
per
with the
view.
not pay
ESPN
per
Plus.
view. They ain't no.
They got to
That
include that
would
with
do
the
worse.
ESPN Plus.
That would do worse than Crawford on Black Planet versus David Avocado. That ain't doing no pay
Man,
per view, bro.
oh, they're gonna have to put them on the prelims that they show on YouTube for free. That's
Yeah,
what they're
there's
gonna have
no
to do.
way. So I mean,
Hey,
I saw
that's
as Jay Prince, the advisor for
While
Davis. I seen him at
Mr.
the
Keyshawn
fight.
missed weight, he's sitting.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
He's the advisor for Abdullah Mason.
Okay, because I
Oh,
seen
he
him.
is still
He's the
okay.
I was
advisor for
wondering if.
Abdullah Mason.
Okay, I got you. Because I was wondering if was doing something with Keyshawn because I seen him in the ring. He was getting out of the ring. And I was like, so does Keyshawn have any advisor, or is he just doing whatever the hell he wants to do?
Turkey Al Sheik.
Turkey, okay.
That's why I think they're advising his ass. That's me though.
Yeah, who knows with them? Because over there, things is getting jumbled and people being hungry for that turkey money. Like I don't know, man. Like it's strange to me. So like I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that we ain't have nothing crazy happen with Richardson, Hitchens, and Cambosos. I'm kind of excited for that fight, even though I kind of got an idea how it's gonna go, but like it still be one for me that's interesting to see because
Yeah,
I do like Hitchens.
okay.
I like Hitchens, but I don't like the way he's moving with Subriel Matias. When he was in the mandatory position for Matias, he was like, "No, I'm not going to fight Matias. Nah, man." He was moving differently when it came to Subriel, and
Who is
so
this?
Yeah, Richardson, Hitchens. I do
Richardson
think he needs to
Hitchens.
take that fight if it pops up again.
Well, he's got to.
He doesn't like the IBF rules, but then you keep fighting for the IBF title.
Facts.
I know,
I'm
right?
confused. Like, just go to another sanction. He's ranked in every sanction, so why do you keep fighting for the IBF? It looks duckish because when Subriel was your mandatory, you had complaints of the IBF 10-pound rehydration clause, but as soon as Liam beat Subriel, you was first in line to fight Liam.
Well, he's going to have to fight Subriel because, actually, no, I take that back because Subriel's fighting Puello. They got Eddie Hearn turkey maneuver to get Subriel out of Hitchenson's path because Subriel won the eliminator for the IBF, and had he stayed on that path, he was the mandatory, but he's going to fight Alberto Puello. So there's that. But Hitchens, I
And Eddie
like.
Hearn dropped Subriel Matias.
Oh, he did. He did after
Yeah.
that Liam Paro fight that nobody asked for. Nobody wanted that. He made that fight in his first fight away from PBC, which was a bullshit move, and then he dropped Subriel Matias.
Yep.
Yo, what's up, y'all? How everybody doing, man?
What's
Hey,
up,
what's
Dean?
going on?
My Philly brother. What's up, man?
Man, Brody, I want to say this. The part that everybody is missing, and I'm not letting Keyshawn get away with this. Keyshawn did all of that clout chasing, all of that calling everybody out, saying, "Oh, nobody want to fight the man," just to admit that he knew 2-3 fights ago when he was calling Tank out, saying that I want to fight you, bro,
Yeah, he
knock
couldn't make
Tank and
135.
all that. He couldn't even make 135. So I want to let y'all know he would have destroyed his career either way. And actually, Keyshawn was in a lose-lose situation. The worst thing he could have did was what he did the other night. But it would have been even worse than that, y'all. Because y'all imagine if Tank would have got the win versus Roach, called out Keyshawn like people wanted him to do, and then they fought next, and he didn't even make the weight.
Oh
Could
yeah,
you imagine
that would be crazy.
how we would have crucified that man then? But everybody's letting Keyshawn get away with blatantly lying, blatantly admitting he was clout chasing.
Well, because they hate Tank. There's this anti-Tank jihad crusade,
That's
whatever
the
the
only
fuck you
people
want to
that's
call
helping
it.
get away with it is the Tank haters.
I don't
like
mean
I
to
said
offend
earlier,
anybody out there if you're going to take it literally. Crusade, jihad, whatever you want to call it. There's an anti-Tank movement in corporate media that's bought and paid off for, and in these YouTube echo chambers, that anything Tank says and does is the devil. And if his rivals do the same thing or fight his leftovers, it's the opposite. So Tank fights Ryan Garcia. Garcia's an underwear model. Devin Haney fights Ryan Garcia afterwards. It's the best fighting the best. So, I mean, you can't spin it, man. These people
Yeah,
are full of shit. And I talked
here's
about
what
that.
I
I
say.
talked about Keyshawn saying, he ain't got.
You blanked out.
yeah.
So, well, here's what I say for I hop off. Keyshawn and his brother, man, hey, forget suspension, man. Let them get arrested. Like I said, they got assault right there on camera. Go ahead to throw him away.
Yeah,
No,
you
he could
headbutted that
sit.
man.
Yeah,
I know they left that dude with a lump on his head.
Hold on
He
now.
had
Hold
he
on
had a
now.
lump on his head.
Hold on now. I know you are not telling this man to do a Devin Haney. I know you ain't telling that man to sue that man for battery. Because you know he ain't doing that to Devin Haney, man. Dean,
Hey, all
I
bright
wanted
if
Dean
anything
to
should sue.
I wanted
Albright
Dean to
said
continue
he
to
wanted back in the ring. Albright said he
yeah, he
want to
did.
fight Keys at
He
140.
surely
Let's
did.
make it happen.
He said, "Get run it back."
He
He
Hey,
said,
surely did.
I need it back, bro.
okay. But Keyshawn can go to jail after that.
Yeah,
He he can get whooped and then go spend
See,
some time with Diddy.
the thing that I started to notice with a lot of these Tank haters in these channels, Tank is only in the media. He's minding his business. When he got a fight, he's available for interviews. He give y'all, but when he's not, that microphone is not in his. They don't like that. They like these people that's just blabbing off at the mouth and just doing all of this talking. Like Abdullah Mason. Everybody thought he was scary. He said no. If you heard what he said, you would have been listening. He said, I let my hands do the talking. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not dealing with all that back and forth. I let my hands do the talking, and he stole the show in your hometown again for the second time.
Second time, you're right. He surely did. Say that weekend because when he fought,
Yep,
that stadium was still full.
that's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, I do agree with that sentiment though, because like I've always said, like Hank is not out in the media like everyone. He don't talk. He don't call people out. He ain't out there getting in hella beefs. Like and to go back to what another thing I've said, like you know that saying about the loudest people in the room
Yep,
Yep.
versus the quietest people in the room.
Yep.
Everybody is louder than Tank, but yet for
yep,
some reason, people ain't picking up on that.
yep.
Well said. Well said. Yeah.
So
And
y'all
that's
take it
because
easy.
and that's because Keyshawn, you could tell they trying to
Yeah.
pump themselves up. They don't believe in themselves. Tank is confident in his abilities and what he can do in the ring. Tank has also told people the way he grew up and where he's from, bro, that shit does something to your mentality. So he's not with all of the games, the Twitter games, because when I see Gary, and I'm a Gary Russell fan, but Gary Russell has been, and I know you're a Gary Russell fan too, Fanon, but Gary Russell has been on interviews trashing Gervonta Davis. But when they see him in person, it's none of that. It's none of that. So he's basically telling y'all, listen, I handle my business in the ring. When I'm not fighting, I'm with my family and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's it. And they can't stand that. They want him to be the loudest in the room, but that's just not his personality. He was friends with Shakur and Richardson Hitchens until they start talking crazy on the internet.
Yeah. Funny business. Funny business.
Yeah,
All right, bro.
man.
Let me look this other Damian dude up real quick.
All right, man. Have a good one. I'll be listening.
Right. Thanks, man. It was a good session. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
No.
Damian Estrada, how can I help you? Damian Estrada, you have to show me your face. And then I can let you up. But you got to show me your face. Yeah, I want to talk about what Deem said. I think that is about absolutely positively right. Deem is 100% right. And I think it's an astute observation that this is just another person that claim they want to fight Gervonta Davis when they know full well that they don't belong in the same weight class that Gervonta Davis is in, which pushes me back to that whole conversation that we were having about why Gervonta Davis was so necessary for Gervonta Davis to move up to 140 into 147. Because these guys know full well that they're not 135-pound fighters, that they're squeezing down to that weight. The only person I would say that there's an exception for is Shakur Stevenson, because I don't know Shakur Stevenson. He's not going to miss 135 pounds. But you could criticize him for what he did at 130 because he missed weight at 130. Gervonta also missed weight at 130 one time. But after that, he made weight at 130 at least one time after that. Chris Trucker, what up, man? How you feeling, bro? So I think Deem hit that. I think Deem hit it on the head. 100%. These guys are weight bullies. And I am 100% believing that this is Turkey Al-Sheikh money that caused that. And to know Floyd Mayweather visiting him, that sounds shady. And I'm not somebody that does a lot of, videos about Floyd Mayweather Jr. being a shady character, but absolutely, I believe that Keyshawn Davis did that on purpose. And yes, I do believe that Ryan Garcia did it on purpose. And then they go in and they figure this is a big money fight for the other guy. I'm in a position where I can negotiate with him. He can get a little bit extra money. And boom, I'm going to be able to fight him at a huge advantage because I can get him to agree to do it. That's exactly what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney, and that's exactly what Keyshawn Davis looks like he tried to do to Edwin De Los Santos. And like the person said before, the difference is that instead of having Bill Haney there, you have Samson Leskovich there that's like, nah, man, you're not. We're trying to fight for this championship, Keyshawn. We're not here to get a little cheap payday. Fahim Sator said, Fanon, can we talk about what happens when Keyshawn and his brothers go to Philly? They're probably going to get fucked up in Philly. That's probably what's going to happen if they go to Philly. Is probably they're going to get beat up. Look, man, that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous behavior, man. Phoenix the Assassin said, oh, let me get this. Kamal said Keyshawn doesn't want that smoke with Frank Martin. Apparently not. Uncle Dre's Finance, what up, you dig? Said Keyshawn's in a lawsuit. I would stay away from him. Yeah, stay away from everybody in a lawsuit. My guy, Uncle Dre said Bomac knew Keisha didn't try to make weight. Bomax knew Keisha didn't try to make weight. And then Fanon, Virgil Williams said, Fanon, great talking points with you and Phoenix and the others. Thanks for allowing me on your platform, brother. Keep cooking. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Let me back up to this. Victor Conte caught pancreatic cancer. I suspect that you're going to find more people having a more difficulty making weight now that Victor Conte is not going to be in boxing a lot longer. At 75 years old, I don't think pancreatic cancer is anything that's going to go away. I hope it goes away for him. But I do want him out of boxing. You know what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong. I'm not wishing anything upon him. It is just a fact that he has pancreatic cancer. So usually what happens when you have pancreatic cancer is, and you're 75, usually when you're 75, you're closer to dying than you are to being born. I think that's fair to say. And when you have pancreatic cancer and you're 75 years old, that's tough. He's not going to be able to be whipping up his concoctions for you guys very, very well. You know what I'm saying? So if Victor Conte leaves the game, which it looks like Victor Conte will, Fahim Sator said that's the most aggressive form of cancer too. Yeah, so that cancer is going at him. Troy Hutch said Conte got all the meds to cure himself. Come on, man, that ain't right. Let me get a sip of water on that bit of foulness. Smooth Life for F3 said, my uncle had pancreatic cancer, and doctors said like 95% don't make it. Yeah, pancreatic cancer at 75. Let me see something. %. Some sources cited as low as 3%, according to John, or 1%, as according to John Hopkins. Some say between 5 and 10. The medium survival time for stage 4 pancreatic cancer is around 6 to 12 months, with some research suggesting a medium survival for 6.2 for those over 70, and a 1-year survival rate about 3 for elderly patients with metastatic pancreatic cancer. So about a year. That's, hey man, prayers go out to him, bro. The pancreas regulates so many functions in your body for 9. Yeah, I know it definitely regulates your blood sugar for sure. He better get on that Dr. CB regimen, try to beat it. Hey man, look. Prayers go out to him for his healing and all that good stuff. And I'm definitely not trying to say it's a bad thing. That's just a bad man. That's rough. I mean it. I don't want to wish anything bad on the man. I don't want that karma coming to me. You know what I mean? Because shit, I'm getting older and you never know. Who's 75? Bob, shake my head. I always thought Bob, no. Victor Conte is 75. Bob Arum is like 93. Yeah, so prayers up to, let me take a moment of silence for prayers for Victor Conte. I hope that he's cured. I hope that he's well. And I wish the best for him. So I don't want anything that I say to sound like I don't. That said, if he's not participating in boxing, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the crew of boxers around him. Fanan, did you hear Salah isn't promoting? Yeah, it's Dana White. Dana White is back to promoting. You know why? It's called a lawsuit. Yeah, Dana White is back to promoting that shit because guess what, Turkey? You signed a piece of paper. So Dana White is going to sue whoever it is you're working with to stop you from putting on some events. Because you said you're going to work with him, man. He made a public announcement, man. You guys are partners in the United States. So how are you going to cut out your partner in the United States? I love that, man. I hope that I don't want to have to talk about Turkey soon. My grandmother was diagnosed with this. She passed away 2 weeks. Oh, I'm sorry, Zacharias. Rest in peace to your grandmother. Rest in peace to your grandmother. I have to go on this. I have to take my picture off when I inhale this because that bitch nigga King keeps flagging my channel. I am thoroughly convinced that King is a YouTube moderator. I am thoroughly convinced because whenever he shows his head, my video gets demonetized every single solitary time. Even anytime I get a sense that he's around, I get a string of demonetizations. Yeah, I'm so sorry for you, Zacharias. Rest in peace to your grandmother, and let's have a moments in peace and prayers up to Zacharias and Zacharias' grandmother. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. So anyway, but with Victor Conte, if Victor Conte leaves boxing, I think a lot of these people that are relying on him heavily are going to wind up having a hard time missing weight. I'm wondering whether or not, I hope it's not the case that Keyshawn Davis just didn't have the proper medicine this time to help him cut weight. And maybe that's the reason why Devin Haney can't make weight at 143 and he has to go up to 145. He wants to, what did he want to fight Tio at? 145? Some shit like that because he can't make 140 even though he was the 140-pound champion a year ago. Or I guess it was over a year ago. I guess if you don't fight in a year, maybe your body, and you don't put yourself through that stringent regiment. Seriously, man, maybe that's why these guys are moving up in weight. Maybe Victor Conte got sick. Victor Conte is like, look, man, I don't want to do this with the rest. I don't want to do this while I'm trying to beat this disease. Because I hope Victor Conte beats that disease, but it looks like Victor's going to need all his energy in order to keep that cancer up off of him. My cousin had that prostate cancer, and it's no joke. That's why you have to watch what you put in your body. Yeah. Oh, they had the pancreatic cancer. Yeah. Oh my God, I don't want that. Fanon, I'm vaping on frozen white grape. What flavor are you vaping on? This is icy mint. Icy mint. Yeah, so he's going to need all the energy he can. So I don't think he's going to be able to be working with y'all like he ain't going to be as available as he was. So it's going to be interesting to see these guys and how these guys, and this is not good for Bud Crawford heading into that Canelo Alvarez fight, that a key member of his training team is not going to be as available. I hope you don't have to go. I hope you don't have to subcontract that job out there for your nutrition. I hope you guys don't have to subcontract somebody to do your snack work with you. You know what I mean? Rosa Sparks said, I hope he repents. Look, man. Look, I would not wish death upon anybody because you can't come back from that. So, or at least you can't come back from that in the form that you went into it in, right? You come back in a new form, whatever the case is. However, I would say that, look, man, if I don't want that in my life, so I just want him to get well. I want him to get well because I don't want it to be the case that any of my nasty thoughts that I had about his ass brought that shit upon him. So I feel bad and I don't want him to be sick. At the same time, hey, I will talk about it to the extent that it can affect boxing. You know what I mean? And his departure, believe it. The video froze. Oh my God, I hope you showing me your favor didn't do too. I'm not sure what that means. Bud may receive that ass whooping. He gave Arrow, if he cheated, he deserves it. Yeah. If he cheats, he deserves it. But look, if he was cheating and he doesn't have Victor Conte to help him cheat, then I don't think Bud's going to take the fight. Because I'm telling you, man, there's a little bit of bitch in Keyshawn Davis. I'm sorry, bro. I smelled a little bit of bitch in Keyshawn Davis for the way that he did Edwin De Los Santos. And I think that that's a very, very fair thing to say. You know what I mean? David Williams said, I'll say a prayer for him at least. Yeah, man, got to stay on the right side, man. And I'm trying to really, really stay on the right side. Troy Hutch said, I feel like he was on some versus Errol. I'm still salty. I'm not salty about the loss, but I do suspect that he was juicing. Yeah, I do. I really do suspect Terrence Crawford of juicing. I do. Only because he's the prototypical guy that looks like he's juicing. I mean, if you had to look at anybody in boxing and you'd say, okay, who do you think is juicing? You're going to point at Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Who else do I think is juicing? I mean, no joke. If you had to look at somebody, you're like, I think this guy may be juicing. I would say Monster in a way is a heavy suspect for that. Anthony Joshua is a big suspect for that. Alexander Usyk is a big suspect for that. Terrence Crawford is a hugely, I suspect his ass of that. Devin, I suspect Devin for sure. There's a bunch of people that I suspect of being on that juicy juice. You know what I mean? People that can cut 25 pounds and pop back up at 25. I think you're on the juicy juice, bro. I'm just trying to be honest with you. Because, you know, they say that over 90% of fighters are on juice. So I don't think it's the bottom 90%. It's going to be the top 90% that are on juice. 100%. Yeah, you know, you said get your shot right when you put my name in your mouth. Morgan Beard, I'm not sure what you mean. DB3 stands for day. Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm so mad that man is throwing up this, and you go ahead and you fucking do some shit like that. I'm blaming Turkey Al-Sheikh. I'm back to blaming Turkey Al-Sheikh. I blame Turkey Al-Sheikh. I blame Turkey Al-Sheikh. I think Turkey Al-Sheikh made that man an offer for a fight with Teofimo Lopez as long as he gets past the fight with Edwin De Los Santos. So he had a hard fight with Edwin De Los Santos. So he decides to get a big competitive advantage in that fight and get through the fight with a huge weight advantage. That's what I believe he tried to do. I think he tried to get funny with that money. And then, so now he can go over to Teofimo Lopez and fight Teofimo Lopez because he was going to drop the belt anyway because Teofimo Lopez isn't going to fight him at 135. When you miss the weight by 4 pounds, you know you're giving up that title. You know you're giving up that title. And I do go back to exactly what it was that Dean was saying, because when Dean said that this is nothing but a front for when these guys are calling out Gervonta Davis, I think you're 100% right. It's 100% right. And it's a shame, man, that you know you're not going to be able to make it in. You know you can't make a weight. Know that you're too big for a weight class, but yet you're calling this guy out and saying that this guy's afraid to fight you. Karma's a motherfucker for sure, Andy Gill, but economics, economics is math. Ooh, them numbers, man. Those numbers do magic, bro. Those numbers do magic. Oh, Oxsteel said, I'm sure Conti has some underling who's doing his bidding. No, I don't think so. The more people that you know, more people you tell, Oxsteel. And if you're not involved, they may be willing to do something for Victor Conti and not be willing to do it for that underling. I wouldn't. Average Joe said Turkey is exposing a lot of BS, though. He's not exposing it. He is the BS. Turkey is the BS. But yeah, of course, yeah. But look, if you overpay somebody, you say, I'm going to give you $5 million for the next fight. You're getting $900,000 for this one. And you're like, oh, well, fuck that. I'm not going to fight hard on this one. I got $5 million coming on the next one. Which is why you're seeing stinker fights and fighters pulling out. Jay Mills said, Plant lost. Keyshawn, well, Bud fight coming up. Dev got... So we'll see. Interesting to see what happens with these snack fighters. Yeah. Caleb Plant is a snack fighter that looked a lot weaker. Jay Mills, I have to point you about that right. You about. Hey, is Keyshawn a snack fighter? Is Keyshawn a snack fighter? Please let me know if Keyshawn's a snack fighter. I don't know if Keyshawn's a snack fighter or not. Jay Mills. Let me put this on hide for a second so I can get my little puffy wuffy. He said, "Yep, Keyshawn. So Keyshawn's a snack fighter. So yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he couldn't lose his weight. He's a snack fighter that couldn't lose his weight. I wonder if there's a federal investigation on these niggas. Hey man, I wonder if there's a federal investigation on these guys. And Victor Conti conveniently gets sick. Man, let me tell you something, bro. Shit, if it's Bomax camp, he definitely got on that snack. Yes, Bomax camp. Bomax, hey, Terrence, you better start dieting now. Hey, Terrence, you better start that weight cut now. Phoenix the Assassin says snack shit not all clean. Hell no. And Phenomenal Noob said people in Conti's position don't like to be knowledge sharing. Let me read that better. People in Conti's position don't like to do knowledge sharing. Makes it easier to bring down his operation again with his rat ass. Exactly. He's not going to be sharing everything with everybody. And he's not going to be sharing his connections or anything like that. Fanon, isn't that what the old mafia youth boxers used to do? Hell yeah. Fake your death like a shit. I got sick. Go get your ass a diagnosis and shit and then just go off into the sunset. Hell yeah. GA, what up, G Flacco Escobar? G Flacco Escobar said, Fanon, what's up, my guy? Ayo, Keyshawn lost my respect having his newborn around that BS. Yeah, you know what that is? He lost his cool. The ghetto came out, man. The ghetto came out. You know what I mean? The ghetto came out of Keyshawn. And sometimes, bro, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to let it fly. Sometimes you got to let the ghetto fly. Who knows what they said to him? I don't know. All I know is it's very, very bad optics, man. Terrible optics, man. Terrible optics. But no joke, bro. I'm gonna get back to my federal investigation conversation I've been having with y'all. But I haven't made a video in a while because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let you Negroes learn, bro. I did all the warning that I needed to do. But I told you these niggas is under federal investigation. I told you. So this cat catching the flu should not be a surprise to anybody. So if y'all wind up not being able to get your juicy juice, don't worry. We know where all your juicy juice is. They know where all your juice men are, bro. Your juice men are at the gym selling that shit at the gym. We told you we got men at the gym. So they're looking for all you shady ass niggas at the gym, including you steroid pushing niggas at the gym because you're part of fixing fights by helping these dudes juice up. So without a doubt, the juicing aspect of boxing is within the confines of this RICO case that I told you that they're working on. So anyway, Victor Conti catching the flu is not surprising to me. Victor catching the flu is not surprising to me. It is a bitch move by Keyshawn because Keyshawn can't make the weight anymore. How much you want to bet Keyshawn's going to be in welterweight in about 2 fights? I give him, he'll be in welterweight in about 2 fights. About 2 fights. Terrence Crawford is more than likely going to get fucked up by Canelo because Canelo's got his own juice man. Canelo has yeah, dog. Y'all better hope this Victor Conti shit ain't real. Y'all better hope that Victor Conti ain't really giving these guys juice and that snack shit is readily transferable. Because if it is not, that is your ass. And I'm going to be laughing at you Negroes all week long as we lead up to it. But guess what? In much respect to Top Rank, but man, Top Rank got screwed over by Keyshawn Davis. My understanding is that they have to give out refunds. You have to pay Samson Leskovich, and you have to pay you have to pay Samson Leskovich. You got to pay Keyshawn. You got to pay Edwin De Los Santos, and Edwin De Los Santos should sue you because you screwed over his opportunity to fight for a world championship. I think that this is Turkey Al-Sheikh freezing out Samson Leskovich because Samson Leskovich wouldn't kiss the ring. That's what I think. Edwin gets his full purse. That is my conspiracy theory. I'm blaming Turkey. I think Turkey wanted to screw Samson Leskovich, so he winds up getting Keyshawn to pull out of a fight or try to screw his fighter. I'm blaming everything on Turkey, and I'm blaming on everything from Turkey down. I don't blame Top Rank because Top Rank doesn't run their business like that. Top Rank is Bob Arum and Top Rank is pissed off, and they should be. But that's all right because Keyshawn, dog, you did it to yourself, man. But look, I'm going to get up out of here, man. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to head out. Thank you for everybody that supported in the super chat and everybody that supported in the Cash App. But I am going to bounce. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.